Welcome everyone to the finished article, All Things Sky Blues. As we mentioned yesterday, we're back. The football season's back after the Euros, and we are kicking off with the first proper episode of All Things Sky Blues. Without further ado, I'm going to bring the guests on, but before I do that, as always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We are on the race to 100. I believe we're on 96 subscribers, so we are very close to getting the 100 subscriber. And whoever that person is will be getting a special prize from myself and Shaz to be revealed very shortly. As always, follow us on our social media feeds below on Twitter. And as always, you can find us on our Twitter handle below. So if you want to follow me, if there's anything you want me to cover or myself or Shaz going forward, please do let us know. But without further ado, let me bring our guests, and you guys know them well. They're the one and only Mr. Adam Alton. And
yeah, boys.
Yeah, yes. Mate.
Good to see us rocking the sky blue jersey. I had to change it because Rich ended up reading my mind and having the same one, but not to worry. Adam
very nearly put the League One winning jersey on. It was a 50-50 and I went for this one.
No, that's all fair enough. It's all. How you guys doing anyway? You all right?
Yeah, looking forward to the new season, mate.
Indeed. So without further ado, let's kick off with the first topic that Rich wants to discuss today. So the signings we've made so far, how do you rate them? I mean, Rich, Adam, do you want us to kick us off?
Well, go Rich.
Who should we start with? Should we go for each one?
Yeah. Go for it.
So the first signing we made, and I remember seeing on Twitter that we'd made a new signing. I was quite excited to see who it was, and it turned out to be Ben Sheaf. So,
do you know what? Right? People gave him a bit of cop last season, but it's because he's not as exciting. You know, like we've got Hamer and O'Hare; they do the exciting stuff. He does the boring stuff, and he did it okay. He didn't do a bad job for us. I think it's just one of them things. He stepped up to the championship, and took him a while to get going, but he's okay.
He played 30 games for us, so
exactly. He's not a terrible person to have in the squad, and he's good. He's probably going to be cover for Kelly, right? I can't see him starting ahead of Kelly.
Yeah,
no,
it's probably the long-term replacement for him, right?
Yeah.
So I don't
I think the fact that he came from Arsenal last season, people were putting unnecessary pressure on him, thinking he's going to be a cut above the rest, and you've got to expect that some of these youngsters haven't really played that much. I mean, I personally rate the guy, but I think this season will break his breakout season and be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of them should be better than what they were at the start of last season, right? I mean, they all sort of only had played League One level before, pretty much, bar maybe one or two. So let's see what they can do now they've got a full season under their belts.
No, that is true. That's true. Rich, who are we talking about next?
Right. I've got all the new signs written down in front of me. Well, should we go on to Martin Waghorn?
Yeah.
Be really happy with that. That experience, I think, is going to be crucial.
I mean, he's a former England under-21, isn't he? He's only ever had one season in his career where he scored more than 20 goals, to be fair. And that was...
You don't have that, though, very often now from strikers. I mean, you have one or two in a league that will do it, but the majority of teams, look how many scored less than 15 with their top goal scorer last season. Yeah. It's now a team game more than ever. Like before, back in the day when we all started first watching football, you'd have your main striker, you'd be looking for 20-plus goals.
Exactly.
For a good season. Now, if they get 15, that's a very good season.
Yeah.
No, I think if striker gets like 10, 15 goals and everyone else chips in, and like you said,
that's it. If you have two strikers now that get 25 goals, you're probably okay because you'd expect your midfielders to be chipping in with a few as well. And with the midfielders we've got, there are a few goals knocking about in that for sure.
Yeah,
and knows where the back of the net is. His experience at this level.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to
better than what we released.
That's what we were missing last season in terms of like players experience in the championship. He knows how to hold the ball up, and that will be invaluable for the rest of the squad.
He didn't have a great year last year, did he? But the transfer might galvanise him.
Derby didn't have a great year anyway.
That's probably what it's the team he was playing for.
He's Tris Robbins.
It's like I liked Max because he worked hard, but this guy's got the quality. This guy will give us more in terms of creating stuff in that final third. Whereas Max, he'd create stuff, but it's more through hard work rather than technical ability.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And Bakayoko just isn't cut out for this level, unfortunately. So, and then obviously we've got Invicta as well, who we saw for a bit last season on loan. he again looked far better than those two. Definitely looks like he's got something about him.
Got better as the season went on as well.
Exactly, and he played really well with the squad. Good link-up play, couple of decent goals. So yeah.
Do you reckon they'll start Victor with Tyler Walker or Matt Godden? What do you reckon? Or Matt?
I certainly think he's going to have to go with two up top, because you can't have 4 strikers at a club and only play one. Because then you've got to get rid of someone, because you can't have 4 don't go into 1. I mean, it doesn't really go into 2, but you can sort of keep them happy if you're switching them around a little bit amongst 2, but trying to keep 4 players happy like that. Yeah. Either someone's going or going. I don't
think he brought Waghorn here to sit on the bench. I think Waghorn against Forest will be starting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see him being the one that comes on the bench, off the bench, because he's got that experience. I think he's more likely to go with Godden and Victor for the opening game. As opposed to the 2 you suggested. But we'll see. Like I say, nobody knows with Robbins. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if he ends up bringing one of the young kids from the under 23s and starting them, and this kid coming in and getting a hat trick, right? Because that's just what he does.
Full of surprises there. We'll have to see.
We've got a new goalkeeper as well in Simon Moore.
Yeah.
Who's been a good keeper throughout his career. He hasn't played much in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah. Well, he did well for Sheffield United back when they were getting promoted from League One up to the Championship. Then I think they had Henderson, I believe, for that season from Man United. So that's why he didn't really get much of a shouting. But I've heard good
fans were saying, their fans basically said that Moore was one of the best keepers they've had, but Henderson came in and was just another level. And obviously, then they brought in someone for 15 odd million, and they're not going to put a 15 million pound goalkeeper on the bench.
I mean, we all agreed last season. None of us thought Morosi had done a lot wrong. To be fair,
no,
he just made a few mistakes after he'd come back from that injury. But Morosi's gone now, and hopefully,
I think that's the problem. The injury pretty much knocked him off the season, because when he came back, Wilson was pretty much taking the gloves, then Morosi was playing second bit. And I think for him, I think Robin said it at the last game of the season against Huddersfield, I believe it was, that there were too many silly mistakes. He needed to find a keeper that was reliable, that could cut out the crosses.
Both of them were, though, at fault for goals. It's not as if either one of them had a great season. I mean, up until that point, Morosi was doing okay. He didn't do a lot wrong, but then he come back and he was making mistakes. Wilson was making mistakes. So, and I personally think that the only reason Morosi's gone is because he wasn't prepared to be a number 2 goalkeeper, whereas Wilson's that number 2 keeper, right? So he knew that that's what he signed on for. He was number 2, so he's probably happy to stay as number 2 and fill in as and when he needed.
Morosi might have been earning a bit more as well. You don't know.
Also, transfer fee as well. We'd have got more money from Morosi than Wilson.
You don't want to be paying your number 2 keeper a fortune.
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
He was on a lot, though.
I could be totally wrong on that, but
I would have thought he would have been on more money, and also again transfer fee, he would have been worth more selling him on. So made sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, we don't really know what he's going to be like with 2 years pretty much not playing, but on paper, I think it looks like an upgrade.
We'll find out tonight. I believe they're playing Mansfield tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, Mansfield.
You can't gauge anything from the friendlies.
No. I want to put this out here, and I think we all agree. Results in friendlies mean absolutely nothing. So people getting all worked up on social media about our results.
Yeah. This is where he's testing out. He's putting trialists in. He's maybe trying different formations. He's maybe seeing who links up well with different players. He's putting under 23s in, seeing if maybe they can step up to the grade, how they look with the 11. You can't gauge anything at all. If we get beat 6-0 tonight, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to cry about it. Okay, I'd like to see us win 6-0, but I'm not going to get any upset about it. You know what I mean?
I've seen us lose 3-1 away to Hales Owen Town in the pre-season friendly once.
Yeah, we haven't done very well in friendlies though under Robbins. I don't think, have we? Since he's been in, notoriously, we haven't actually done that well in the friendlies. But then usually we've done all right.
I think he gauges it just for fitness. Like he said, the team played well the other day against Cheltenham Town, but the result was irrelevant. So fair enough. I'm good with that.
I know. So a couple of friendlies last season. I haven't watched any of them this year, but a couple of the friendlies last season, you watched them. I remember Swindon away, and he just had that impression. He just said to the players, "Go out and play." Right? Yeah. There didn't seem to be any particular game plan. I think he just sees it as a fitness exercise and to look at the players, look at the new players especially, and see what they can do.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Who we got next, Rich? Who we talking about?
Well, we've already mentioned Gyökeres, so should we move on to Bright?
Bright's back.
This one could go for me either way. This one, It just depends who we've got and whether he's got his head screwed on. We saw in League One, he looked quality at times.
Yeah, putting some
on some of them runs.
performances.
Very exciting player, but is he?
It's his attitude. I think that's the difference. Will be the big difference here. I mean, talent he's got in abundance, but as we all know, talent alone isn't going to get you far in any sport. He needs to put in the performance. He needs to show the right attitude, and I'm hoping Robbins can knock some sense into him.
Yeah, I mean, we've
been no risk with it being a free transfer, though.
No, that's true.
Robbins would have been keeping his eye on him for like 2 years now. So, and he knows what he can do from before he was here. So, I'm fairly confident he'll turn out to be a decent signing. He's still only 23, isn't he?
And as daft as it sounds, you might as well class Jody Jones as a new signing because he hasn't played for 2 years. And as long as he stays in, I hope, honestly, I know I said at the end of last season, I think would have been better to release him just because of his injury status. But I hope he does stay fit because he does look like he could do a job for us. Yeah. But if he gets injured, I mean, it is game over for him this season. I think this is it. If he picks up another long-term injury,
he's been unlucky. I'm glad he got through the friendly the other day. I'm scared that was my biggest worry.
I would like to see him just stay injury-free all season.
Yeah, that's a win for me. Yeah,
give something back to the club because I think he wants to. You can see it in him. He's so hungry to just do something for the club and show what he can do.
Exactly. No, I completely agree there.
Also, it looks like we're re-signing Martin Craney.
That's a rumour. That's a Coventry rumour.
Well, apparently he's our trial list at centre back tonight, isn't it? And he's virtually a done deal. As long as he gets through the trial, okay.
When he was here before, it was 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, he left the year we went down.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Good player, and another decade of experience under his belt. It's not a long-term solution to that centre-half problem, but Luton Town apparently wanted to re-sign him for another year, but for whatever reason they couldn't get the deal done. So clearly they think he's good enough.
This for me is a signing just based on experience in the Championship and helping the team out. It's not long-term. It's more a case of I don't have much money to play with, but let me get someone in that knows the play.
Also, he can play left back, he can play right back and centre back. He can play anywhere across that back line.
The experience will count for a lot as well, because how many goals did we concede last season due to individual mistakes?
A lot early doors, but it got better as the season went on.
At
the start of the season, it was like we were like the entertainers from the Premiership, just gung-ho, going out, attacking, and then we realised we had to shut up shop and be a bit more tight, which ended up resulting in us staying up. I mean, we did talk about this a lot. The goals dried up front, but I think defensively we had to shut up shop anyway. But we'll see how the season goes as it progresses.
Yeah, a lot of fans though complaining saying we haven't made enough signings, but got it in front of me here. Derby, Reading, Blackburn, and Sheffield United haven't made a single transfer. Yeah. Barnsley and Bournemouth have only made one. Fulham, Forest, and West Brom 2, and then you've got Bristol City, Preston, Stoke, Swansea 3. We've made 5 and about to make 6.
7 if you count. There's 2 others who will probably be in the under 23s.
They're under 23s, though, aren't they? So,
but 7 if you count them 2.
And it looks like we're bringing in. There's that left back from Chelsea as well who's currently joining us on loan. Matson. Charlton Athletic fans said very, very good, very exciting. So they said he's so calm, it's almost like a little bit unnerving. I heard so confident that he's winning that ball every time.
I heard a rumor that what's his name? Who did we let go to Preston a few years ago?
Bayliss.
Yeah, Bayliss. Apparently he was up for. They're looking to send him out on loan because he hasn't really played much. I mean.
They won't loan him to another Championship club, will they?
You wouldn't have thought so.
No.
It doesn't look like we're getting Ostergaard back because he played a friendly for Brighton the other day, and apparently they were Brighton fans were raving about him afterwards. So
depends on who they're bringing in, though, doesn't it? With the Ben White money, if they're bringing in another centre back, then he'll go out on loan.
This is the problem. Everybody seems to jump to conclusions. Oh, we haven't signed him, this and that. People need to realize that in this day and age, these things take time. And as the saying goes, never fall in love with loan players because they only break your heart at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're liking that because he looks a class above, right?
Oh yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I personally think that ship sailed. I don't think he will be coming back, at least not this summer. But
yeah, I'd be surprised. I'd be more surprised if he joined us than if he stayed where he was. I think I'd be disappointed if he went to another Championship club on loan, though. That would
it's all about the money, mate. It's all about the money.
Well, that's it. I think that's probably why McCallum went to QPR because they were probably prepared to stay with more of his wages.
What's his name? James went back to he got Bristol City, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was all about the money, mate. The problem is Sisu, unfortunately, don't like to spend money, as we know. But it is what it is.
Yeah, but I like the fact they do that because it's not putting the club in trouble. If we go down, we're not going to be in trouble. Whereas if any of these other teams go down, they're taking more of a risk.
Yeah,
and they're not taking. Okay, you could argue that maybe it'd be nice if they did take a risk, but we've already had that in the past, and we ended up in League Two with a decade of really, really poor football being played, just falling down, and it was embarrassing to be almost embarrassing to actually go and watch it because it was that bad at times. Now we've actually got it decent, so I'd rather have it now than what it was before.
I'd rather have slow progression rather than throwing silly money at it backfiring and ending up in a mess like your Derbies, your Sheffield Wednesdays.
Well, look at Sunderland. They threw out all their massive contracts, 5 years, and look how they've struggled to get back. They should be a top championship club at worst with their fan base and everything else.
Apparently, Sunderland massive is the word I've heard around town. But let me bring up this comment from our host. He's back. Yes, Shaz, thanks for tuning in. Go on, Rich. Who are we talking about next?
Well, we've gone through all the signings, new signings, but we've given Jack Burrows a senior contract, haven't we?
Yeah.
Made a few appearances for the first team last season. But he's been around for a few years, come through the youth team. I think they're expecting big things from him next season.
What about Eccles? Is he in the first team squad?
I think he is.
Because I think the two of them are going to be in and around the squad.
But Paga as well, is he? Unless he's been sent out on loan, I think. But Paga is there as well.
Yeah, we've sent that goalkeeper out on loan, Bilson. He's gone to Swinport.
Yeah, a lot of people who watched the under-23s last season said he was quality, and they were, clamouring for him to just to get a first-team appearance, especially when obviously Morose, Bilson. Yeah, a lot of people were saying, get him in, give him a go. Wow.
Go on, I've got to bring up a comment here. So, comment from the finished article: who should Coventry City sign next, and who would be the best signing? Go on, guys. What do you reckon?
Well, Ostergaard.
Yeah, players we could realistically get. Ostergaard
would be the one for me. If we had the money to sign him, I'd bring him in straight away because we need a centre back. But if we're signing Craney, I think we'll probably maybe look towards a left back because we're getting rid of Mason, right? We're going to want two players that can play in that position. So it's difficult to try and pick one though who'd be available.
The name always pops up, but where's has Liam Walsh joined anyone yet? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's gone to Swansea. He went to Swansea.
Swansea.
And the other one we were linked with, Jamie Patterson. Did he end up signing for Barnsley? Was it
Cardiff? I think, wasn't it?
Cardiff.
Yeah, Cardiff.
The two players we were linked with who didn't.
It came down to money at the end of the day. We couldn't offer the money that these guys wanted, and we're not going to. As Adam said, there's no point getting bankrupted over wages when we've already suffered. This season.
The position is he would have been in if he'd signed those sort of players, right? We'd have brought in two players instead of six.
Yeah.
And what's the point in doing that? You need squad players. We need a squad, right? Okay, as good as they were, if they get an injury and they're out for let's say 4 months, pointless.
No, it's very true. But guys, before we carry on, thank you very much for those that are tuning in and watching in. As always, without your support, we wouldn't be where we are today. But moving on, Rich. And I know Rich wanted to cover this as well, is this tribute to George Curtis. So I'm going to throw it over to Rich for this.
Yeah, what a legend. And I'd say probably the number one legend in the club's history. Because, I mean, obviously Jimmy Hill's got his statue at the Rico, which is fully deserved. But all the way through the Jimmy Hill revolution, he had as his captain was a Mr. George Curtis, who made 543 appearances for the club, was always features when the club did a countdown of the top 10 hard men of all time a few years ago. I'm not sure who was number one, but he featured very highly. And I don't think, from what my dad's told me about George Curtis, I don't think he was a dirty player. I think when you say he was a hard man, I think it was the fact that he would play through injuries. I think he only missed I heard somewhere he only missed 2 games in 10 years, which I might be off with that figure, but he didn't miss very many games, put it that way. Yeah. And obviously was here, part of the team that won promotion from Division 4 and part of Billy Frith's team that won the Southern Floodlit Cup. And then obviously when Jimmy came to the club, he was captained us to promotion twice to Division 2 and to top flight. And then, of course, there was 1987 when he was one half of the management team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They refer to him as Mr. Coventry City, don't they? And I think that's an apt name for the bloke.
Yeah.
I would like to see them do a statue for him somewhere, whether they'll do it at the Rico now, at the CBS, as it's now called. I don't think they will, but it would be nice to see. He certainly deserves one somewhere.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see them, do what they did with Jimmy Hill. Obviously, they renamed the Sky Blue Way after Jimmy. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they find another road and have George Curtis Way, somewhere to honour the bloke because he deserves it.
Something in the city centre.
Yeah, it needs to be done.
Problem with modern football is in the past they would have probably named ex-players had stands named after them and stuff, but clubs get so much money from sponsorship now. Obviously, that's not really a plus. It's not our stadium, so
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with Adam. Something. Hopefully, there will be some tribute to him.
No, indeed. Hopefully, and this leads me on to the final topic of discussion. Thoughts on the season opener at the CBS versus Forest. So who's going? You guys got the season ticket?
I'll be there. That's going to be a long day for me, but I'll be there.
Has your season ticket arrived?
It hasn't yet. I'm not going to the Wolves game Sunday because, I've already said what I think of friendlies, but that'll be. I'm in work for 3 a.m. till 12 on the Sunday. But then, I'm coming home, having a quick dinner, then up the match.
Right, on the match, yeah.
Fair enough. That should be a good game. I mean, what are your thoughts on the first game? I mean, how do you see it panning out? Are
you pushing us for a scoreline here?
Why not, mate? Why not? We've got the thread open. Might as well go.
3-1.
We're going to
predict. We normally do okay opening day of the season, so I'm going to go 3-1.
I do remember us playing Forest before on the first day of the season once, though, back in 96, 97, and hopes were high. We'd made a few signings, and then a Kevin Campbell hat-trick.
Well, you've got to bring that up, Paul. Yeah, let's say in the podcast for that negativity, right? Find one where we hammered them.
All right, you know what? I'm going to put my neck on the line. I'm going to say 2-0, Waghorn and Godden with the goals, City win.
Yeah.
That's
I'll be honest, I don't care who scores as long as we win and get off to a winning start.
No, that's fair enough. The
only thing I would say about it is just a shame it's on Sky, because I think that'll reduce the numbers of fans that are going up.
Well, game was originally on Saturday, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah. Then it got shifted to Sunday, which is annoying.
The thing is, though, I think we all probably knew that Sky were going to take this match on just because it was our first game back, right? But it's a shame they've done it.
10,000 season ticket holders, so.
Well, yeah. I still think there'll be a fair few City fans there. I wouldn't be surprised if it touches 20,000, but I think it would have been closer to 25 if it had been
on the
not on Sky. Yeah.
No, looking forward to it. Should be an awesome game.
I'll go 2-1. Ben Sheaf to get his first goal for the club, and
nice.
who else shall I name?
Robbins to come off the bench.
No, I was just thinking of the most obscure prediction I can make. I'll just say Waghorn.
Yeah, he's run out of ideas. Fair enough. But you know what, guys? Thank you very much for tuning in today. We will be covering more content going forward. As my boy Shaz has said, we are on 96 subscribers, almost about to hit that 100. So
not far off then.
Come in, guys. We're almost there. So actually tune in and please subscribe. And the next step would be, as always, on the road to 200 and more. So
I know that we went a bit quiet after we lost. After England lost the Euro 2020 final. Just to point out, we're not the type of podcast that goes hiding when our team loses.
Nah, we'll be a week and week out.
Obviously, we're all a bit busy.
Yes,
we would have, as Coventry fans, we would have been hiding for the first 30 years of our lives if we were like that. So, but we will be here.
I have to say, England did well. It's just unfortunate penalties of the luck of the draw. Southgate will learn from experience. 2 semi-finals,
exactly,
and a final. Step in the right direction. And as always,
he got 2 of them games wrong, Scotland and the Italy game, and it was just unfortunate that one of them was the final. One of them. It happens in football. There's got to be a winner and a loser. We weren't far off. Another day and we win it. So
exactly, indeed. So
coming up in a bit. Ain't too far from that World Cup, mate, in Qatar. Yeah. That's our one.
It's only 15 months away. It's coming home in 15 months.
Yeah, that's it.
Indeed.
And if that doesn't work, at least we're smashing it at the Olympics.
Yeah.
Something will come home, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice one. But guys, as always, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to give it a wrap up for today. As always, follow us on our social media feed below on Twitter and drop us some likes and comments if there's anything you'd like to see us cover going forward. But guys, until next time, stay safe and speak to you soon. Play up Sky Blues.
Play up Sky Blues.